a little bit beat up. Nice. Has some around. Who's their kind of H-back, backup
something for the people.
Hybrid player. They're going to be asking some players to fill in guard roles. One good thing that's going one time way is they have been playing a lot of guys, especially on the defensive end where you're going to be missing Connor Clement. It's rotating a lot. You see Devin Fossey, Mike Hendricks, a bunch of guys play middle bird this season.
We want to toss the bird.
Quite the opportunity for some of the young players or players.
Four side, one middle, one off. For the second half.
The weather took a nosedive today. Texas football heating up though. We're Douglas County tonight. It feels like the first day of fall. On week 6, we're at the halfway point of this football season. Things start to come under a microscope, particularly if you've only got one loss, or maybe if you're unbeaten on the season. We've got both in front of us here tonight at Lawrence High School with the number 1 ranked Gardner on the road to the north and west, taking on the Lawrence Lions. Welcome to the NFL Network's here. Glad to have you with us today. Gardner, number 1 ranked team in 6A, 5-0, putting up 42 a game. They're allowing 6, just 107 yards a game. The Trailblazers are giving up their last year's 6A runners-up. Lost to Manhattan in an absolute classic double overtime at Wells Stadium in Emporia, 21-20. They're 5-0 this year. Wins over Mission East, China South. They did not have Mill Valley, 49-10. They're moving them out of the water with last year's 5-0. And then the nail biter, their tightest one of the season, to Olathe North. They won that one down in Gardner, 21-14 in a matchup of number 1 and 2. On the flip side, the home team Lawrence, they're in black, jogging out of the field, kicking from right to left. Lions are 4-1. They only lost the Olathe East 24-6, but they've got wins over the South. That was back in 1-2. They've got West 49-14.
Deep to receive,
Sean Michigan is in the last 2. They had Sean Michigan 37-22. So we're about 30-30 a game. They're giving up 22 a game. Their defense, particularly on the ground, is susceptible to yards so far. Lawrence is giving up 165 yards on the ground this season. Lions are going to whip it from right to left. We've got a matchup with the number 1 ranked team in 6A. Looking to make themselves 6-0 on the season. That kick is taken by Griffin Martin on the left side. Looking to pass to 30. Rock at 32.
Special teams tackle by the Lions for 6 games.
Gardner is led by quarterback Raven Powell. 591 yards through the air, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's got 18.5 yards per attempt. To his credit this season, they're led on the ground by Raven Powell. Sire Padilla got 231 on the ground. This Gardner team, they run for 31 a game, 7.5 yards a carry, 16 touchdowns, over 11 touchdowns already this season. And this back to that ground is the problem. Randy Sings to this side of the field. Gardner comes out in that wing formation. 1 in motion. Al hands up right. Up to 35-yard line. On that carry, he's still in the tash. He's got
35, Jaden Harrell. Number 90, Andrew Nelson. 3-yard gain, second down, 7.
Devin Foster gets 6 tackles for us. The whole team and this is one thing this one gives us second down and 12 coming up to the Trailblazers from their own 30.
26 is also in there. 26 is Tyson Brent.
Keeps it himself. He gets knocked down in the backfield. By Devin Foster, number 7.
Ball carrier brought down by the Lions.
28 yards.
Ryan Finney and number 90, Andrew Nelson.
This opening drive with the Lawrence defense.
15 for the Blazers with the 28.
Getting into the third down and 14. Back to throw. Swings it out. Singleton, one blocker. Tries to shed one tackle. He can't do it. He's dropped in the backfield. Gardner goes backwards on drive number one. The top 18 in the state of They're opening drive.
26, Noah Richardson.
3 and out.
Fourth and 16 from the 27.
At his 50-yard line, Powell brings it to the near side, takes a slight Gardner bounce play, goes to sideline, turns it down, and that is as good as it gets. They'll take it only 41 yards, 56 to go in the first quarter, and the Lions defense. He's putting up 130 rushing yards a game. 4 receivers set. Bowen has got trips to the far side. The back is Taj Edwards. Clock at 9:56 to go. And no score. Opening drive here for the Lawrence offense. Powell takes it in a quick drop, looking right the whole way. Fires it over the middle. That's a good catch made in traffic at the 45-yard line, and then a host of white jerseys can't stop the push forward. As a good opening play for Lawrence High goes to Jackson Becker. That's a gain of 14 and a first down into Gardner territory, and Lawrence will get to the line quickly. Edwards still the tailback on the left hip of Banks Bowen, a 6'3 junior. Powell takes the ball again, looking right once more. Fires this one at the ankles of his intended target, and that's an incompletion. That'll bring up second down and 10 for this Lawrence offense. Bowen this year has been tremendous. He's only completing 44% of his passes, but he's been good enough to keep defenses honest with 525 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. But the running game is where this team makes their hay. Bowen with 520 on the ground this year, 130 a game. Tony Jacobson, Malcolm Paul, Taj Edwards, a good group back there. A tight end joins the formation now in a 3-receiver set. Moseman goes in motion, handoff right up the gut, and rumbling forward was Malcolm Paul inside the 40 down to the 37. So from 2nd and 10, they've now given themselves a 3rd and manageable here on a gain of 7 right up the gut. This Gardner defense has been tremendous, to say the least. They're giving up just over 100 yards total a game this season, and just 75 of those are coming on the ground. They're also allowing just 3.5 yards per carry. 3rd down and short. Bowen takes it, hands right up the gut to Malcolm Paul, and I think he's about 3 feet short. And on 3rd and 3, he got 2, 4th and 1, and this is about as no-brainer a 4-down territory as you get. Fourth down and a yard from the Gardner 35. Trailblazers nearly jump into the backfield. Paul will switch to the left side of the quarterback. Bowen, wouldn't be shocked to see him keep this. Handoff, Paul. Paul's got the first down. He didn't need much. Isaiah Williams got there to make the tackle, but it was too late. A fresh set of downs coming for Lawrence as their opening drive brings them to the Trailblazer 34-yard line. This will be play number 6. And back to a 4-receiver set. This time the trips to the near side of the field, and Bowen will check the sideline. Clock to 7:43 to play first quarter. We are tied 0-0. Gardner's first possession, a 3-and-out. Lawrence trying to capitalize on theirs. Bowen takes a helmet-high snap, flings it left side. Catch made at the 26-yard line, and down to the 23 goes Mason Mosseman. Moseman gains 11. And another first down, and they're nearing the red zone to the 22-yard line.
10 yards result.
Taj Edwards will come to the near side, and this is the first time we've seen Banks Bowen in an empty set. Receivers to the near side, Gabe Wingert and Taj Edwards. Wingert moves to the slot. Powell takes it, looking right, fires on a quick hitter at the 15-yard line, down to the 10. That was Malcolm Paul. Paul is a load, 6'2", 214. He gains 12. And a first down just to the 10-yard line, 1st and goal to go. This will be the 8th play of the drive for Lawrence, who have really felt no resistance. They've picked up 1 4th down conversion on this drive on a 4th down and a short one. Tight end in the set in a 3-receiver formation. Bowen in the shotgun. One in motion, handoff right up the middle, and a quick tackle made up on that Gardner linebacking core by Dawson Kindler. Had a great year last year, and that holds to just a gain of a yard. Tony Jacobson jogs in from the sidelines for Lawrence, and Gardner will make a replacement as well. Trips left. Jacobson in the backfield, a tight end on the left side of the formation as well. Jacobson to the right hip at the quarterback. 5:40 to go, first quarter. Clock running, scoreless here in Lawrence. Jacobson in motion. Bowen's going to keep it himself. His first carry patiently gets to the 5-yard line, but then gets dropped. Hard hit from Spencer Easley. So a 3rd down goal to go from the 6 as the clock ticks away towards 5 minutes left here, first quarter. Lawrence knocking on the door on their first drive. Their defense held strong. Gardner with 0 net yards on their first drive, punted on a 3-and-out. 2 left, 1 right. And a timeout's going to be taken by Lawrence. The Lions have it, 3rd down and goal to go from the 6. 5:04 left to go in the first quarter. We are scoreless here in Lawrence. We'll come back and we'll see what the Lions can do with their 3rd down play on the NFHS network. .504 to go, first quarter, 3rd down and goal to go from the 6 for the Lawrence offense. What a time for this Lions team to get off to a great start against the top team in the state, a 5-0 Gardner team who has not had a lot of resistance this season. They've got a few shutouts to their credit. They're putting up a bunch of points. They're not allowing hardly any. But now Lawrence has got them with their backs to the wall in their opening drive. Bowen takes the ball, looking right the whole way. Back shoulder throw, and it is intercepted. Picked off far side for the Trailblazers, and down the far sideline, Bowen giving chase and makes the tackle at the 50-yard line. Wow. Eli Porter plays the role of hero on that opening drive. Porter picks off Bowen and takes it out to midfield. What a reversal for that drive. That's the 2nd interception of the year for the Gardner defense. With 4:53, they take over at midfield. Powell hands up right up the middle to Butash. He'll gain 4. We'll see if this Gardner offense can right the ship, but the momentum certainly on the far side of the field. Gardner Lawrence just sliced them up. 7 plays. They had gone 55 yards. They only needed 6. It was third down, goal to go. Bowen fired one for the right side front pylon. Porter jumped the route, took it up the sideline. Bowen did well to track him down. Second down and a long 6 and a short 7 for Braven Powell and the Gardner offense. Powell back to throw, looking near side the whole time. Catch made by Hawkinson, and he gets spun down outside the numbers. A sure-handed tackle made by Hernandez here on the near side, but it's good for a first down for the Trailblazers on a gain of 8. First and 10 for Gardner. With their running nature, they can really take the air out of the ball in shortened games. Powell hands off Butash up the middle, and he chugs forward to the 35. First down. Such an important down for both sides here tonight. When Gardner can get ahead of schedule, it can be very, very difficult to stop. Second down and 5 from the Lawrence 35. The Trailblazers moving left to right. Braven Powell takes it. Butash made a cutting. Now he's got a little room right side. Sheds a tackle and inside the 25 down to the 23. Certainly the most running room either side have had so far. And Butash takes it down on a big chunk play to the 23-yard line and a fresh set of downs for the Trailblazers. Fifth play of the drive coming for Gardner. Split out to the far side is Mason Shoemaker. Receiver to the near side is Hawkinson. Powell takes it. He'll keep it himself right side. He gets upended at the numbers at the 20. Short gain on the play. Couple guys in on the stop for Lawrence. Cam Clark among them. One of the more important things tonight, Lawrence has got a great secondary. These guys have been tremendous. Andrew Thomas has got 3 picks this season. But how does your secondary tackle against this team? Coming up to that first level and making those plays is going to be crucial. Second down and 7 coming. This will be play number 6 for the Trailblazer offense. 2:27 to go first quarter. We are scoreless. Gardner opened with a 3 and out. Lawrence had a 3rd and goal that was picked off by Eli Porter for Gardner. Powell's going to keep it, set his feet, throw left side, a little crosser over the middle and going high to catch it, but just shy of the first down is one of the more diminutive receivers out on the field. It was Grant Ellis who made the catch, and that brings up a 3rd down and short, 3rd and 3. Ellis is listed at 5'7", so for a high school guy to be listed at 5'7", he's 2 inches shorter than that. 3rd down and 3. Powell under center. A sweep comes to the near side and patient running, letting the convoy get out in front, and a first down for Butash inside the 10-yard line. Hernandez on the stop, and now Gardner has their own first down and goal to go. This offense looking much more like the team that scores 42 a game than what we saw in the opening drive. Ball at the 6-yard line. First down goal to go for Gardner. This is where the Lawrence drive ended, on the opposite side of the field at the 6. Can the Lion defense come up with a big play with their backs against the goal line? Powell spins, keeps it left side. He's got blockers in front of him. Stays on his feet, and he's into the end zone for the game's opening touchdown. Braven Powell scores on the ground for the 8th time this season. And now the extra point team on for Gardner with 96 ticks to go in this first quarter. Trailblazers looking to go up 7-zip. Good snap. Good hold, and the kick is good. Gardner leads at 7-0 with 1:36 left to go in quarter number 1. Lawrence will take it over when we come back to Lawrence High on the NFHS Network.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure you get the best cut every time. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
8 plays, 50 yards, 4:23 off the first quarter clock. Braven Powell caps off Gardner's second drive with a 6-yard touchdown run to give his team a 7-zip lead on the road in Lawrence with 1:36 to go in the first quarter. Trailblazers will kick it away to the Lions, who had their last drive stop short of the end zone with an interception right at the goal line. Dylan Butash carrying a lot of the load in that ground and pound style for the Blazers. Started that drive in midfield. Powell able to cap it off with his 8th rushing touchdown of the season. Aiden Oldham will kick it away. A high end-over-end kick. And a knee on the ground for Lawrence, I believe. Yeah, I think that was Jacobson who took it. And that is not going to give his team good field position with 1:34 to go in the opening frame. They'll mark him at the 8-yard line, so 92 yards is what Lawrence faces. Far side receivers. Mosman is in the slot. Back to this base 4-receiver set. 3 receivers to the far side. Bowen in the shotgun again. He'll check the sideline. Play clock at 13. That is Edwards in the backfield with Bowen. He'll take the play clock down to 2, down to 1. And that might be the second timeout burned by Lawrence if they got it off in time. And Lawrence calls their second timeout as the play clock was expiring. So Gardner 5-0 this season. They share the Sunflower League lead through 5 weeks with Free State. They're also 5-0. Lawrence, Mill Valley, and Olathe North all sitting at 4-1. Of course, last week's massive showdown between Gardner and Olathe North took one of them to the loss column. Olathe East and Olathe South are 3-2. Shawnee Mission East, Shawnee Mission Northwest, both 2-3. Olathe West, Shawnee Mission North, Shawnee Mission South are 1-4, and bringing up the rears, Olathe Northwest and Shawnee Mission West at 0-5. But certainly for Gardner, a team that's got state championship game aspirations. Heartbreak last year at Welch Stadium. That's the home of Emporia State. They fell to Manhattan. Indians won that one 21-20 in double overtime. Gardner sort of rolled to the playoffs, particularly in the sub-state game when they beat Olathe Northwest like a drum down in Gardner 56-7. It's no surprise to see them at the top of the 6A rankings. Gardner, Washburn, Rural, Manhattan, Olathe North, and Derby, the top 5. Free State, the only other team in the Sunflower League in the top 10 there at 8th. So after the second time out of the half that was burned by Lawrence, they've got 1:34 to go in the first quarter. Bowen's going to hand off right up the middle to Edwards. Edwards slips one ankle tackle, and he chugs his way out past the 20-yard line. How about Edwards with a little tough sledding, and we've got an injured Lawrence Lion at the 10-yard line. Edwards able to pick up 14 to at least give his quarterback a little bit of breathing room, but an injury timeout with 1:27 to go in the first quarter. Gardner leads at 7-zip. We'll step aside here on the NFHS Network. Injured Lawrence player up and able to make his way off the field. Good to see. It'll be first down for the Lions from their own 22. Some scores, shall we? Olathe North, this was last night, beat Shawnee Mission West 48-zip. That was a barn burner. Bishop Miege leads Aquinas 7-zip. Blue Valley Northwest, Blue Valley Southwest are tied at 7. St. James is leading Blue Valley West 14-3. Free State is on top of Shawnee Mission North 7-0. We'll keep an eye on some other scores as we go. Bowen hands off up the middle, and Edwards gets hit and then driven backwards. Boy, that gain of 14 seems like a long time ago when you run into 4 different white jerseys, and among them is this tremendous linebacker, Dawson Kindler for Gardner. That was just a gain of a yard. He's lucky to get that on his forward progress. Clock nearing 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Gardner with their only point so far. They lead at 7-0 on an 8-play, 50-yard drive that was started with an interception. The Trailblazer defense in their own end zone. Bowen's going to run the option to the right side. He'll elect to keep it, turn the corner at the 30-yard line, get ushered out of bounds by Cameron Porter, and a flag comes in on the far side. A little too out of bounds for the officials' liking. That Gardner defense is going to give 15 extra to the home side with 16 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bowen did a tremendous job, but there is also an injured Lawrence player over there on the far side of the field, and if that's the quarterback, that's going to be a real problem. And Coach Bowen is not happy. Bowen is really not happy. He can be as not happy as he wants, but when you're on the far side of the field like that, you're lucky you're not going to get tossed out of the game if you're going to try to have a scuffle over on the far side with the opposition. That's a problem. .16 seconds to go in the first quarter. Maybe that'll fire up the home side. Officials are having a little conversation. It's certainly 15. That's the minimum. Bowen was way out of bounds. So a personal foul on the defense. That's not the surprise. And I think they gave a sideline warning to Lawrence, which hard to argue. Ball at the 47-yard line for the Lawrence offense. So Lawrence now with the 3-receiver set. Moseman in motion. And the handoff up the middle. And a dog pile at the 49-yard line. That is a short gain. And that should take us to the quarter break. Just a gain of 2, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Gardner leads at 7-zip in a hard-fought battle. Lawrence will have it right near midfield when we come back for the next 12 minutes here on the NFHS Network. Gardner leads this one 7-zip as we head to the second quarter. Boy, we've had some fireworks already. Eli Porter with an interception to his credit for the Gardner defense. The offense is able to turn that drive, that ensuing drive, into 7 points on a Braven Powell touchdown. We had a late hit over on the Gardner sideline. We had Coach Bowen for Lawrence getting fired up while attending to the injured player over on the far sideline. So Lawrence has it. And Bowen is back to throw. Looking left. Ball was tipped and incomplete. That was dangerous. That was Josh Galbraith, who was playing defensive back there at the end. Fortunately for Lawrence, it hits the turf harmlessly. They're now faced with a 3rd and long. This will be the 5th play of the drive for the Lions. Ball at the 49-yard line. This is not, it may be at the beginning of no man's lane. You're certainly nowhere near a field goal, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for this. But I think by the same token, a punt wouldn't be a mistake either. Bowen takes a low snap. He's getting pressured. Evades one tackle. Now rolling to the right. Still with his eyes down the field. Stops. Now he'll turn and run. Past midfield, and he's out of bounds after just a gain of a yard or 2. Bowen playing escape artist. He's going to gain 2 on the play. That'll bring up 4th down and 6. And now an interesting decision here for Clint Bowen and company for Lawrence. You're down 7-0. You had one drive where you gave up 50 yards on 8 plays, but you also forced a 3 and out. It looks like the punt unit's out there for Lawrence. And like I said, I'm not sure this is a mistake, but I think you can make a good argument either way. Singleton goes back to return. He stands at his own 16-yard line. That punt goes straight up in the air and out of bounds at the 34-yard line. There is a flag at the 33. The official walked to the 37, but we'll have to check and see what the penalty might be. $11:37 to go, first half. Gardner leads at 7-0. Set to take over, we think. A punt that stalled in midair. It's going to give Gardner better field position than they might have thought they were going to have. Only been a false start and a late hit so far. It's the only 2 penalties, but another personal foul, this time on Lawrence. So that's going to be 15 free ones for the Gardner offense, and certainly not a team that you like to be giving up anything to. So Gardner, with 11:37 to go in the first half, will take it at the Lawrence 48. Oh, Powell will go under center. Sweep far side goes to Grant Ellis. Ellis tries to bounce to the corner, and he gets spun around and down at the 45-yard line. Good pursuit by the Lawrence secondary in the second unit. And they hold Ellis, who's got a catch to his credit in this first half, to a gain of 3. I said this earlier, but when Gardner is able to stay on schedule and pick up 4 yards of play, this team can get rolling in a hurry. 2nd down and 7. Powell under center. 1 in motion, sweep, this time to the near side. This one is Padilla. Padilla to the 35, to the 30. And a big time gain as one of the officials takes a tumble. Sire Padilla with those long strides picks up a 1st down and a big chunk play. They marked him out at the 28-yard line. He picked up 13 on 2nd and 7. 1st and 10 from the Lawrence 28. They fake the sweep to Ellis. Powell to throw, far side. He's got a receiver at the 5-yard line, and a flag comes in. Colton Hawkinson was the intended target. Powell didn't put enough on it. Boy, that flag comes in, and that's going to be a devastating penalty on Lawrence. It was really close. So a pass interference on, I believe, Xander Thomas in the Lawrence secondary. Brings it down to the 14-yard line. So 2 very costly penalties for the Lawrence defense. 1 on special teams on the punt, and then a DPI on a deep throw. Powell's going to keep it, run the option, flip it out to Ellis far side. Ellis puts his foot in the ground at the 10-yard line, gets hit hard from 2 directions at the 5, and that's where the run will stop. He's going to be near a first down. Mark him down at the 4. So Ellis picks up 10. And first down and goal to go for Gardner. They are knocking on the door here. Ball just outside the 3-yard line. Trailblazers have a Braven Powell touchdown on the scoreboard. 10 minutes to go here, first half. 7-zip. Gardner leads it. Powell under center. Jumbo set. They sweep it to the near side. A cut at the 4-yard line by Griffin Martin is not enough. And he'll go down thanks to Tony Jacobson's efforts. And no gain on the play. Second down, goal to go for Gardner. At the 3-yard line, ball on the near hash. They've got Dawson Kindler in there, the excellent linebacker. Now he lines up at running back. Fake it to him. Powell's going to try the right side, trying to stiff arm his way to the end zone for the pylon. He's got it, turns the corner, and Braven Powell is the scoring touchdown. Gardner from 3 out. Powell, his 9th rushing touchdown of the season, and he's got his team up 2 scores. On to attempt the extra point is Aiden Oldham. And that kick is right down the middle. 9:15 to go first half. Gardner leads at 14-0. The Lawrence offense needs an answer. We'll see if they've got one when we come back to Douglas County here on the NFHS Network.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure produce meets our standards for feeding your family. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Five plays, 48 yards, 2:22 off the second quarter clock. Braven Powell caps off the second scoring drive for Gardner with a 3-yard touchdown run this time to make it 14-zip in favor of number 1, Gardner-Edgerton. Lawrence could use an answer here. They punted their last drive. Their opening drive ended in an interception on a goal to go on 3rd down. Jacobson and Edwards are back to return. Oldham bangs this one 9 yards deep into the end zone, and it skips out the back. So a touchback coming. Boy, Oldham puts something onto that. So Lawrence will take it. 9:15 to go until halftime. Lawrence will get the ball to start the second half, but they're backed up at their own 20. Last 2 drives, their own 8-yard line, and now their own 20. And we get to see Banks Bowen again. 6'3", 190, a junior. Talented runner, just as good through the air. He's got trips to the near side, a tight end to the far side, and Taj Edwards on his left hip on a 1st and 10. In motion goes Wingard. Bowen to throw, coming to his right. That's going to be a hold on the offense. Bowen is just going to flip this out of play, but this is going to be 10 back. Looks like Isaiah Williams, a 6'6", 260-pound junior defensive tackle, was the one who was infringed upon in the backfield. So from a 1st and 10 from the 20 to a 1st and 20 from the 10. Lawrence will have it on the far hash, and a drive that already was going to be a little more difficult against the stingy Gardner defense backed up in your own territory now becomes even tougher. 9:07 to go. First half, 14-zip. Gardner leads the way. Haven't seen Bowen much on the ground so far. He's got trips to the near side again. Edwards flares out in motion. Now Bowen's going to keep it on a quarterback draw right up the middle. He lowers the hat and just gets to the 12-yard line. Couple guys in on the stop there for Gardner, including Max Nichols, 6'5", 225-pound senior defensive end.
2-yard gain, second down, 18.
Couple new ones in for Lawrence. Wyatt Hendricks among them. Clock rolling, 8.5 to go, first half. Gardner leading 14-0. Bowen takes the ball. Handoff right up the middle to Paul. Paul to the 15-yard line. Dawson Kindler among the Gardner defenders to make the tackle. So that's a gain of 3, and another high flag comes in. This one might have been the verbal time, and everyone's walking like this is on Gardner. I think the official maybe nodded to one of the Gardner defenders. And head coach Jesse Owen on the far side is livid at his defense, and I don't blame him. Boy, you get a holding penalty, you have 2 solid defensive plays, and then you lose your composure and allow a team to get a first down. Boy, sometimes when you play a top-ranked team, you need a break. Maybe this is the break the Lawrence offense gets. They've got it now 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line. Play clock. Plenty of time on it, just under 30. Lawrence has had to burn through 2 timeouts. One of them was to save a delay of game. Snap back to Bowen. He's going to roll to his right, looking to throw. Eyes down the field, fires it into traffic, and what a catch. Jackson Becker was in a phone booth and was able to come down with that. How about the trust for Banks Bowen to even make that throw? And Becker, with that concentration, brings it in for a first down to the 45-yard line. Boy, that ball had no business being completed with that amount of bodies in that amount of space. But now 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. One in motion is Moseman up the middle. Paul, both hands wrapped around the ball. He really slowed up before he got to that initial line. And he gains 4. Nose of the ball right at midfield. And they're going to give him a full 5 there. Just under 7 to go, first half. 14-zip. Gardner leads it. Lawrence trying to put together a drive here. It started with a hold, but a 15-yard unsportsmanlike on the Gardner defense gave him a first down. Bowen, hands right up the middle, and Jacobson gets hit down low and then upended at the 49-yard line. A couple different trailblazers per usual as this team in their pursuit. There is never just one body there, but Randy Singleton came up from his corner spot to make the hit. It's a gain of 1 on the play. This will be the 6th play of the drive here for the Lawrence offense, and they're faced with the 3rd and 4. They punted from a very similar spot on their last drive. Clock at 6 minutes to go here. Play clock down to 12. Are they going to call a timeout? This will be their 3rd one. Timeout taken by Lawrence with 5:49 to go in this first half. It's 14-zip. Gardner leads the way, but an important 3rd down coming for the Lion offense. We'll take this break with them. Gardner leads at 14-zip on the NFHS network.
carryout comes in clutch.
5:49 to go, first half. Gardner leads this one 14-0 over Lawrence. Some quick score updates. Bishop Miege leads Aquinas 10-zip. Blue Valley is on top of Blue Valley North 12-0. St. James is beating Blue Valley West 14-3. Free State shutting out Shawnee Mission North 21-zip. Olathe East is 2 touchdowns ahead of Olathe West 14-0. Mill Valley is shutting out Shawnee Mission South 21-0. Shawnee Mission East is up 9-zip over Olathe Northwest, and Olathe South is up on Shawnee Mission Northwest 23-0. Boy, a lot of shutouts here. All those games early on in the first half. 3rd down and 4 here for Bowen. Bowen looking right the whole time. Fires one. Catch bobbled, then made it the 35-yard line at the 30. That's Becker. He's got a big catch on this drive already, and he rumbles his way down to the 15-yard line. Boy, Becker caught it, bobbled it, corralled it, and then turned it on down to the 15. Had to have it, and it's a gain of 35 for Jackson Becker. 1st and 10 for the Lawrence offense. 5.5 to go, first half. And that is going to be an illegal motion on the Lawrence offense as Bowen looking to throw, and he hoists one to the backside of the end zone. Lawrence side wanted a roughing the passer, but he had 2 guys in motion pretty dramatically across the line of scrimmage. So that'll take a little wind out of the sails here. I'd love to see that play blown dead. Yeah, that's an illegal shift on the Lawrence offense. That's going to be 5 back to the 20-yard line, so 1st and 15. 5:12 to go, first half. Gardner leading 14-zip. The last time the Trailblazers were backed up near their own end zone, they came up with an interception. Does Lawrence have an answer? Empty set this time for Banks Bowen. 3 right, 2 left, and a false start this time on the Lawrence offense. Boy, a 34-yard catch that Jackson Becker bobbled once, caught it, and then angled to the far side. Seems like a while ago now, as 2 consecutive 5-yard penalties have made this now 1st and 20. Jake Linden into the ball game for Gardner. 1st down and 20 from the Trailblazer 25-yard line. This will be the 7th play of the drive here for Lawrence, a drive that started back at their own 20-yard line, and that's taken now just over 4 minutes off of the clock. Handoff to Paul. Paul up the middle, able to get past that initial wave, but ankle tackle just shy of the 20-yard line, so he picks up 4. Into the ball game comes Jack Grimes, a 6-foot senior tight end for the Lions. Second down and 16. 4:35 to go, first half. 2 tight ends here for Lawrence and 2 receivers to the right. Paul on the right hip. Bowen looking to throw. Lobs one, far side, back of the end zone, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Wingard there. He was locked with Randy Singleton. The incompletion brings up now a 3rd down and long. It's going to be interesting to see the play call here. The playbook is wide open. Depending on how much you trust your field goal team, anything, maybe even more conservative, would put you in a spot for 3. You've got to think that Clint Bowen's got a number in his head that he's comfortable going for it from that distance and also comfortable kicking it from there. 4 receivers and a tight end right. Bowen is back to throw, looking right. going through his reads, now flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to throw it away. Coverage was really good by the Gardner secondary. There is a flag, though, in the secondary. That flag is at the 10-yard line, and Singleton's got his palms to the sky. Boy, if this is defensive holding, that's going to be a backbreaker for the Gardner defense and a breath of fresh air here for the Lawrence offense. That's a defensive holding on Gardner. That brings it from a 3rd and long to now a 3rd and somewhat manageable. It's 3rd down and 6 here with 4:12 to go in the first half. Gardner leading 14-zip, but Lawrence knocking on the door for the 2nd time tonight. Can they finish a drive off? You would think from here, if it came to it, Lawrence would be comfortable with a field goal. Certainly not what you want. Field goals don't usually beat the #1 ranked team in the state. Bowen handoff right up the middle, and that's going to be inside the 10-yard line down to the 9, and now it's decision time. Under 4 to go, first half. It is 4th down and 4. Ball at the 9. They need just outside the 5, and this team's going to go for it. I love that decision. I said it just a second ago. Field goals do not beat last year's 6A runner-up and the top-ranked team in the state. Tough to call a play in the later portions of the first half. A massive play in this ball game, but this is certainly one of them. This offense needs a conversion, or they need 6. And there's a delay of game. 5 yards. They are out of timeouts. They burned one earlier to save a delay. That one feels like we might have taken the penalty in terms of being able to save this one. So now back to a 4th down and 9. This is the 10th play of the drive for Lawrence, but that is exactly what you could not have happen, was shoot yourself in the foot and make this 4th down conversion any tougher. Now it's 4th and 9. Again, they need the 5-yard line just outside of it. And Bowen is in the shotgun. Back to throw, pumps once, pocket collapses. He escapes one. He will not escape the second. Jake Linden came in to make the play. Linden came screaming in from the far side, and he drops Bowen in the backfield, and Gardner will take over on a turnover on downs. So the Trailblazers, with 2:56 to go until halftime, have got all 3 of their timeouts and the football at their own 26-yard line, and Brave and Powell and company are as good as it gets, is taking the clock and using it to their advantage. They fake a sweep. Powell looking to throw, and he just flips it nonchalantly towards the intended target, which was Hawkinson. Oh, 2nd down and 10 coming here for Gardner. 2:51 to go. Interesting, they open up with a throw here. If they were trying not to give Lawrence the ball back, that is not necessarily the play call you would think. Receiver to either side. To the near side is Mason Shoemaker. Powell option, and he gets popped at the 25-yard line. He's going to either gain nothing or lose a yard there. It's a good hit by Jaden Harrell. It's a loss of 1. Call it 3rd down and a long 10 here with just under 2.5 to go in the first half. Lawrence has no way of stopping this thing. 14-zip, Gardner leads the way. This is how most of the Gardner ball games go. Not a lot of points from the opponents. Trailblazers are giving up 6 points a game this season. Powell back to throw, comes to a stop, fires it over the middle, caught by Singleton. Singleton is right near the line to gain. I think he's got it by just a nose. depending on the spot. The far side official gives the okay. That's a first down for Gardner on a gain of 11. 2:04 to go until halftime, and Gardner's got it at the 37-yard line. I said this earlier, but Powell doesn't throw it a lot, but he's been fairly accurate when he does. Sweep comes to the near side at the 42-yard line. A whole host of Lawrence defenders, Jaden Harrell among them, are able to swarm and bring down Griffin Martin. And a timeout taken by Gardner. The Trailblazers will burn their first one of the half with 1:46 to go. And the ball on the far half. So let's get to some more score updates here before halftime. Not a ton of close first half games out there, but let's roll through some of them. Mentioned this earlier, but Olathe North blew out Shawnee Mission West last night, 48-0. Miege, they lead Aquinas 10-0. Blue Valley still ahead of Blue Valley North, 12-0. Blue Valley Southwest, Blue Valley Northwest, that game's gotten good. Southwest leads that one, 27-21. Free State, no problem with Shawnee Mission North yet, 28-6. The Firebirds lead that one. Olathe East shutting out Olathe West, 21-0. Mill Valley, the same score for Shawnee Mission South, 21-0. Olathe South blanking Shawnee Mission Northwest, 23-0. Outside of 6A, DeSoto leads Piper, 27-7. Turner and Topeka West are scoreless. Baldwin shutting out Osawatomie 42-0. Eudora 41-0 over Schlegel. Lewisburg, a good one with Tonganoxie 22-10. Spring Hill and Paola are tied 21-21. Second down and 5 for the Gardner offense. Fresh off their first time out of the half. Powell is back to throw. Quick drop. Brings it near side to Singleton. Tries to spin off of a tackle. He does. Gets his way into Lawrence territory and gets hit hard in the midsection. And Singleton will bring it to the 47. So the clock stops at 1:38. Gardner's going to get to the line quickly. One in motion. Powell back to throw again. This time a deeper drop. Pumps once. Floats it near side looking for Butash. And a flag comes in as Butash was unable to bring in the left-handed catch. It was thrown by the official here on the sideline. There's also a flag on the far side as well. That's going to be on Gardner with 1:32 to go in the second quarter. Trailblazers with an ineligible man downfield as Powell was under duress immediately. So back to the 48 goes Gardner. They need the 38 of Lawrence for a first down. Singleton to the near side, the leading receiver for this team, over 300 yards so far. Powell back to throw again, sets his feet, fires it over the middle. And the catch made by Hawkinson. He's got it at the 10, at the 5, and an ankle touchdown-saving tackle made by Xander Thomas. Colton Hawkinson at 6'4", strides away from the senior cornerback for Lawrence. And now Gardner's got it down to the 1-yard line with 1:23 to go until half. This might be a 3-score game heading into the locker room. This will be the 6th play of the drive. That was a 51-yard pitch and catch from Braven Powell to Colton Hawkinson, and now just 3 feet away from pay dirt. Still 2 timeouts at the disposal of Jesse Owen and Gardner. Play clock down to 7. Powell's going to sprint in. I think Gardner's going to have to burn one here. And the Trailblazers will burn their second timeout with 53 seconds left to go in the first half, leading 14-0, but they've got the ball at the 1-yard line. I think Coach Owen wanted the play clock reset, but wasn't able to get it. But Gardner's got it in a good spot here, a 51-yard reception. Powell lofted it over the top of the defense. Colton Hawkinson got in behind, was able to snag it. Xander Thomas, credit to him, made a tremendous ankle tackle to save a touchdown there, and now he's given his team at least a puncher's chance to get out of here without allowing at least 6. Oh, let's see. Some other scores around Manhattan. That's the team that beat Gardner last year in the state championship game. The Indians are leading Junction City 20-0. Washburn Rural, second-ranked team in 6A. The Blues are up on Topeka 20-0. Out in western Kansas, Hayes leads Dodge City 14-0. Garden City beating Ulysses 21-8. Independence in Pittsburgh. Down in southeast Kansas, the Purple Dragons and the Bulldogs are tied 0-0. And Wellsville leads Prairie View 14-13. So Gardner takes their second timeout. They've got in their jumbo package. That includes at the running back spot Dawson Kindler in there. Powell, they're going to run the sneak. A flag comes in. I think Powell's in. Powell's definitely in, but this one may be coming back for Gardner with 51 seconds to go. Boy, we've seen both sides unable to stay out of their own way. Illegal man downfield, false starts, illegal shifts, all of the above. That's an encroachment. So it's a dead ball foul. So Powell's going to go under center. Clock may need to go to... Yeah, the clock may need to get reset here. So Powell's going to go under center. They're going to reset the clock to 54 seconds, I believe. But Gardner's about to go up 3 scores here. 53-7 on the clock. Powell's going to go under center. The affectionate name for this play has been called the tush push in the NFL, but there's not really the push here. Powell just happens to be bigger than most everybody else, and he's got a big offensive line, and he's got 3 touchdowns in the first half. Touchdown, Gardner. Braven Powell goes over the top of the line to give his team a 20-0 lead, pending the extra point. It was a long drive for Gardner. It didn't take him but 2 minutes and 6 seconds. It's a 6-play, 74-yard drive. Extra point is Splitsville. 21-0. Gardner leads it. Lawrence will have 50 seconds and no timeouts to try and make something happen here at the end of the half. Reminder, the Lions will get the football to begin the third quarter. But how about Braven Powell making a tremendous case for a Player of the Year award. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 from 6, 1 from 3. This one from a yard out to give his team a 21-0 lead. And as impressive as the Gardner offense has been, their defense has been equally as good. But Lawrence has had a couple opportunities. You think back to that first drive. Eli Porter was able to pick off a pass in the end zone on a 3rd and goal to go from the 6. Lions also got into the red zone on their last drive. A 10-play drive ended in a sack and a turnover on downs. One of the classic ways to inject some energy into your team is a big special teams play. I'm not sure Aiden Oldham is going to allow that to happen, or Ashton Adrian rather. I'm not sure he's going to allow that to happen. He pounded the last kickoff through the end zone, and he is going to do the exact same thing. That one lands 5 yards deep, and so Lawrence will have it at their own 20-yard line, and I think you've got to try to at least make something happen. If you're the Lions, would not be surprised to see maybe take a conservative gamble here, and depending on what happens, if you're able to pick up a chunk, go from there, but you certainly don't want anything to get worse. But points before the half would be huge here if you can muster a miracle drive against one of the best defenses in Kansas. Come out in a double tight set with receivers to either side. Paul is the tailback. Bowman will take it, hand it off to Paul. Paul right up the middle, and he gets stood up and shoved backwards by a couple different defenders. Dawson Kindler, again, among them, the middle linebacker for Gardner, who makes that defense tick. No gain there. And there's 30 seconds left here. And I think Lawrence is going to have to maybe snap it one more time. It's going to be tight. And even so, even if you don't snap it, you take a delay. What does it really matter here? Yeah, Lawrence got to snap it one more time. 2nd down and 9. Bowman will take it. He'll hand it off to Paul. Paul tries the right side. Coming up to make the hit for Gardner was Caleb Dewey, and that'll take us to halftime. Gardner leads at 21-0. Their defense is as advertised, but Lawrence will have the ball to start the second half. The Lions locker room is going to be an important place over the next 18 minutes to try to figure out how best to get back into this ball game. Gardner leads at 21-0. We'll take a halftime break, enjoy the band's performance. We'll come back with some scores, a first half recap of the second half here in a little.
Jackstack carryout comes in clutch.
Welcome back to Lawrence High School. Halftime score 21-0. Gardner leads the Lions here. Trailblazers looking to move to 6-0 on this season. Lawrence has got their work cut out for them. They will receive the football to start the second half. Glad to have you with us here on a beautiful, cool night in Douglas County. The weather took a nosedive the last 24 hours or so, and it's going to get colder tonight into tomorrow, but that means that it's football weather. First half was dominated by the guy who takes the snaps for Gardner, Braven Powell, 6'4", $195. The scariest part about him is he's a junior. He's got a whole nother year left next year. That's a problem for a lot of people in the Sunflower League and 6A in general. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns, 6, 3, and 1 yard out. Able to showcase a variety of his skills. He's got a 51-yard pass to Colton Hawkinson to set up that 3rd touchdown that sent us to the locker room. He's doing it all with his arm and with his legs. Lawrence, on the other hand, that first half is a half of what-ifs. The opening drive, they drove all the way down to the Gardner 6, and on a 3rd down and goal, Eli Porter picked off Banks Bowen and took it back 50 yards to midfield, setting up Gardner for their first touchdown drive. Lawrence then also drove into the red zone and got it down inside the 20-yard line before a turnover on downs on a 4th down sack sent the Lions packing on that drive. So a drive and a half of what-ifs for the Lions. Gardner leads at 21-0. They're not number 1 in the state for nothing. Their defense is tremendous. The most points they've given up this year was last week to Olathe North. They gave up 14. Other than that, Mill Valley scored 10 and Shawnee Mission East scored 7. They've got 3 shutouts this season. They are a tremendous defensive team. Behind the 8 ball against them is not where you want to be. And points here on this opening drive for Lawrence are going to be crucial in the comeback effort. Ashton Adrian is going to kick it away. He has been booming some of these through the end zone, but this time kicking from left to right. That thing is going to stall up into the air and allowed to roll out of bounds. A heady play by Taj Edwards there is going to give his team good field position to start this 3rd quarter. I am not one to flippantly throw around must-score drives this early in a half, but this feels like a drive that Lawrence, at bare minimum, has got to put together a good drive here. You can't walk away from this with a 3 and out. Here comes Banks Bowen and company. Much like his counterpart on the other side, he's got another year next year. He's got 4 receivers, trips to the far, 1 to the near. And Edwards is the running back. The handoff goes to Edwards, and he is corralled immediately. Dawson Kindler was there, as he is so often. He was joined by Thomas Savastin. And that is a loss of a yard on the opening play from scrimmage here in the second half. Boy, Kindler, mentioned it earlier, he really does make this defense go. 30 seconds gone here in the 3rd quarter, 2nd down and 11. This time a tight end joins the formation for Lawrence. And Bowen will check the sideline. Bowen with a chest-high snap, trying to step up and throw, and now he'll duck down and get taken down. And on the stop, on the sack for Gardner, Isaiah Williams was there. A loss back to the 31. A loss of a yard and a loss of 4. Not the way you want to start your drive. For the Lawrence Lions, with a minute and change gone in the 3rd quarter, they are now faced with a 3rd down and 14 from their own 31-yard line. It's not so much the coverage from Gardner that's been good, it's the pressure that their front has been able to bring. 1 in motion. Bowen to throw, backpedaling to his left, slings one near side, catch made, but well shy of the down to go. Paul made the catch, 6 yards. He's going to bring up a 4th down and 8, and backed up this far. Not the place to go for this unless you're feeling a fake. Singleton is back to receive. Kicking from right to left has been much more successful for both sides. A low snap. Punt is away. It is a stinger that lands at the 30. Singleton is going to let it ride. And it'll get picked up by Lawrence and Gabe Wingard. And Gardner will take it over. A 3-and-out for the Lions. That is not the way you needed to start. But we'll see Gardner's offense out there again. I mentioned this is a team you don't want to get behind the 8 ball against, and there's a reason for it. They run it as good as anybody. 231 yards a game on the ground. They will shorten a game like few can, not only in 6A but in the state. Here's Powell. Powell's going to keep it. He's got room to the right side. Powell at the 35, at the 40. 45-yard line. Powell makes a cut at midfield, and he is wrapped up and dropped at the 42. Braven Powell opens the third quarter for Gardner with a scamper into Lawrence territory. Well, Powell takes it 34 to the 41 of Lawrence with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. And the junior will come under center once more with a receiver to either side. He's looking to throw this time. He'll fling it out right side. That catch is made at the 25-yard line, and a tackle missed, brought down out of bounds was Griffin Martin. Oh, Griffin Martin able to snake his way down to the 20-yard line. A gain of 21, 34 and 21, the two plays for Gardner to open the third quarter. Under 10 to go, leading 21-0, and once again bearing down on the goal line. This time a 3-receiver set for Powell. Powell sends Martin in motion. He'll sweep it out far side to Padilla. Padilla at the numbers, trying to turn the corner, puts his foot in the ground, and gets brought down by the knees after a gain of 8 on the far side. Nine and a half to go here, third quarter. That was Xander Thomas who made the tackle on the far side. Line of scrimmage, the 12. Line to gain, the 10. Padilla, a 6'2", 190-pound sophomore running back. Powell flips it out to Ellis. Ellis near side. He has got some blockers ahead, and Ellis is going to score. Touchdown, Gardner. Grant Ellis takes it in for a 12-yard touchdown. How about that drive for the Trailblazers? Just 4 plays, takes them 75 yards. They do it quickly, they do it efficiently, and they do it successfully with 9:06 to go. On to attempt the extra point. Ashton Adrian Hawkinson is the holder. And Adrian once more right down the middle. He makes it 28-0. Gardner leads at 9:06 to go third quarter. Lawrence needs an answer, and they need it now. We're back to find out what they've got in store for us on their next drive here on the NFHS Network. Four plays, 75 yards, a minute 12 off the third quarter clock. Plays of 34, 21, 8, and then the last one, 12-yard touchdown from Grant Ellis. His third touchdown run of the season makes it 28-0 Gardner. As Adrian's kick is again going to have a little draw spin on the ground. It kicks left, goes out of bounds, so Lawrence is going to take over again at their own 35-yard line with 9:06 to go here in the third quarter. So Braven Powell opens that last drive with a 34-yard run. Fooled everybody, lobbed one to Griffin Martin for a gain of 21. Padilla picked up 8 on the third play of the drive, and Grant Ellis finished it off on a little option pitch from 12 out to give the top-ranked team in 6A a 28-zip lead. And now we once again, for the second time this half, see Banks Bowen. They're coming off a 3-and-out where they netted just 2 yards of offense on their opening drive. Bowen looking to throw. Right side the whole time. Fires one high. Intended for Mosman. But he just got his fingertips on it, and it skips down the turf. Second down and 10 coming here for the Lawrence offense. Bowen with 3 receivers to the far side. He's going to throw that way. Catch made by Paul. Paul drags a defender. He got Jordan Alba along for the ride. And that's a gain of 11 on second down and 10. And there's a penalty, a personal foul on Gardner. We've had our fair share of personal fouls here tonight. So that's going to track it all the way to the 39-yard line of Gardner. So Lawrence will take it where they can get it. Big 12 update on ESPN right now. Oklahoma State leads K-State 20-7. The Pokes down at Stillwater, T-Boone Pickens Stadium. 2 scores better than K-State. First and 10 at the 39. Bowen looking to the near side. Fires a strike. That catch made at the 32-yard line and immediately engulfed. It was Mason Moseman. Kindler, shockingly, was there on the stop. That's a gain of 6.
Amazingly, as great as this defense has been for Gardner, they lost 9 players who were in some sort of all-Sunflower League record.
8:15 and counting to go, third quarter, 28-zip. Gardner leads it. Lawrence at the Gardner 33, trips to the far side, tied into the near. For Bowen. Bowen will take it. He's looking downfield. He has all sorts of time and now fires it near side. That's a great catch made by Mosman at the 20-yard line. Call it the 21, but there's a flag at the 41 in the backfield. Boy, that was Max Nichols, 6'5", 225-pound defensive end who got in the backfield, and they're going to call the Lawrence offensive line for a hold. This Gardner front is gigantic. None more so than the guy wearing 77. Chris Marcos is every bit of 6'9" and 350 pounds. $7:50 to go, third quarter, 28-0 Gardner. Second down and 14 for Lawrence. Bowen back to throw again. Steps up, fires it near side. That's a good route, a good catch by Gabe Wingard. He's got it at the 27-yard line. He picks up the first down. Nearly dropped that thing at the end. This will be play number 5 of the drive. First and 10 for Lawrence as Bowen is starting to get into a bit of a rhythm. Wingard, a tremendous route. Took the defensive back with him and then put his foot in the ground and came to a dead stop. Bowen, handoff up the middle. Paul had that taken away. He had it taken away, and running the other way with it is Mark Debiak. Debiak is going to score. Wow. Wait a minute. Debiak took it to the house. He ripped it away from Paul. There's a flag at the 29-yard line, though. This is going to be interesting. 7:03 to go in the third quarter. I have no idea what this is going to be and what the result's going to be. Debiak took it away from Paul. Is it 7? Because Debiak took it to the house. Still no signal from the official. I mean, this might make the far side of the field come unglued, but Lawrence's offense is still out there. What a dramatic reveal this is going to be. Personal foul, face mask. A face mask called on Gardner. So, what was a strip and then a touchdown taken off the board by Gardner. Lawrence again able to dodge a gigantic bullet. So Paul got it taken away from Mark Debiak. So first down and 10. So they need the down and distance marker. Super important to have over there. There we go. All right, I think everything's where it needs to be here. First and 10 from the Gardner 15-yard line. Boy, the Trailblazers nearly had this puppy. 35-0 and in the bag. Bowen back to throw. Looking left, looking for Wingard, back of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Porter for Gardner in coverage. If Wingard had come down with that one, it would have been the catch of his life. Second down and 10 for the 15. Bowen has done a lot of throwing this drive, and he's done it well. Running back is Tony Jacobson. Trips to the far side of the field, a tight end to the left. Bowen takes it. Pressure coming. He's going to fire it far side of the end zone, and it is incomplete. Nearly a hookup for the first touchdown of the ball game. Singleton was the last guy over there for Gardner, but he was even a half a step behind as Gabe Wingard nearly came down with it. We would have had to tap a toe to get it inbounds. But now third down and 15. Jacobson still in there at running back. Bowen to throw, looking right. Flushed out, still looking, still looking. He has absolutely nowhere to go. There are 2 receivers and 5 white jerseys in the end zone. There's nothing going on. One of the problems, I think, for Lawrence here is they have to throw so many guys to protection that there's just not enough receivers down the field. So now fourth down and 10 from the 15. Bowen in the shotgun again on fourth down. They run a reverse, looking to throw. Malcolm Paul's going to run it. Paul at the 5. He has got the first down. Boy, he really thought about throwing that thing, but he made the audible of the night. Paul tucks it and runs. Picks up 13. And now first down and goal to go from the 2-yard line. Boy, that was a designed pass that Malcolm Paul was supposed to throw. He looked ahead and saw absolutely nobody and nearly scored. So a big-time fourth down conversion with just over 6.5 to go in the third quarter, and Lawrence is in a prime position to get on the board here and cut in to this 28-point deficit. And Lawrence is going to have to burn their first timeout of the half here to avoid a delay. Boy, that is the third time that they've been unable to get onto the field and run a play on time, and they burn another timeout. 6:35 to go third quarter, 28-0. Gardner leads the way, but Lawrence has it at the Trailblazer 2-yard line. Well, shall we go back to the scoreboard and check out what's going on around the Sunflower League and also around the rest of the state of Kansas? There weren't a ton of really tight games anywhere around the metro area. Bishop Miege is shutting out Aquinas 19-zip. Blue Valley blanking Blue Valley North 22-0. Blue Valley Southwest and Blue Valley Northwest, they're in a barn burner. That one's led by the Timberwolves, 48-35. St. James and Blue Valley West, that's a tight one, 28-26. The Thunder leading the Jaguars there. Free State, no problems with Shawnee Mission North. The Firebirds lead that one 49-6. Olathe East is shutting out Olathe West, 28-zip. Mill Valley is also shutting out Shawnee Mission South, 21-0. Olathe South, 30-zip over Shawnee Mission Northwest. Lansing and Baser are knotted up 13-13. Wamego and Shawnee Heights, this is an offensive battle, 7-6. The Red Raiders of Wamego lead that one. First down and goal to go from Lawrence. Ball at the 2-yard line. Bowen in the shotgun. Running back on his left hip, 2 receivers to the near side. Bowen is going to keep it himself, come to a stop, and then surge to the goal line, and he is in. Touchdown, Lawrence. The home side on the board. Eight plays, 65 yards for Lawrence. With 6.5 to go in the third quarter, they have finally kicked in the door. Extra point coming here for Lawrence to make it 28-7. You've got to start somewhere if you want to build a rally. And the kick was hooked left, no good. 28-6, a 2-point conversion might be on the way for Lawrence coming up, but points on the board. That's the important part here for the Lions with 6:31 to go. Now it's time for the defense to step up as Gardner will take the field when we come back to Lawrence High here on the NFHS Network. Eight plays, 65 yards, 2.5 off of the third quarter clock. And Banks Bowen from 2 yards out. Extra point was no good. He makes it 28-6. So 6:31 to go in the third quarter. Bowen picks up his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. This kick that was taken by Briggs Cunningham, and a fair catch was called for. So Gardner will take over at the 28-yard line. Now, first down and 10 for Braven Powell and company. They're coming off their 4th consecutive scoring drive. It was a 4-play, 75-yard, 72-second drive. Grant Ellis ran it in from 12 yards out. Powell takes Martin in motion, fakes the sweep. He's looking to throw. Uncorks one down the middle of the field. He's got a receiver. Catch made by Mason Shoemaker, and he is wrapped up at the 40-yard line of Lawrence. Gain of 30 on first down. Boy, one of the things about this Gardner team, you see them line up and you just simply watch the way that they operate in the run game. That passing game is not something you expect from a team who has a base formation like this. Powell is going to run it himself. Big hole left side. He falls forward to the 34-yard line. pick up a 5 for Powell on the second play of the drive with 5:50 to go in the third and a 28-6 lead for the top-ranked Trailblazers. Powell under center, a receiver to either side. Hawkinson, the 6'4" target to the near side. Powell dropped that snap, and he falls on it. Loss of 2. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 7. 5:15 left in the third quarter. Lawrence coming off an 8-play scoring drive. Now they've got Gardner backed up to an uncomfortable 3rd down and 7. From the 38, this is certainly 4-down territory for Gardner. But Lawrence has had as good a chance as they've had all night to get this offense off the field. Powell takes it, looking to throw. Fires one. He was looking for either Hawkinson or Martin. There might have been a miscommunication between quarterback and receiver. I'm not sure who that was intended for, but Powell had pressure in his face immediately from the front 4 of Lawrence. So that's going to bring up now 4th down and 7. Absolutely no reason for Gardner not to go for this, but Lawrence has got a great chance to get off the field here. Gardner obviously had a play in mind. That was the quickest huddle they've had tonight. And Ellis came in motion, and Gardner's going to get a free 5 yards. Boy, that was an ill-timed jump by the Lawrence line. So now 4th down and 2. And this is where Gardner becomes ever so good in short yardage. 4:49 to go third quarter. 4th down and 2 for the Trailblazers, leading 28-6 here on the road. Powell's going to run it himself. He's going to flip it out to Ellis right side. Ellis has room. He cuts up at the 20-yard line. 15, 10, 5. Ellis is in for another touchdown. A 33-yard touchdown run on 4th down and 2. And Ellis has the last 2 scores for Gardner. With 4:42 to go in the third quarter, they're putting it on the home team. Adrian on to attempt the extra point. He has been rock solid so far, and he makes it 35-6. Advantage Gardner. 4:42 to go in the third quarter. And the Lawrence defense had a 4th and 7, jumped across the line to make it a 4th and 2, and Ellis strikes from 33. 5 plays, 72 yards. Just under 2 minutes taken off of that third quarter clock. Grant Ellis came into this ball game with 2 rushing touchdowns to his name this season. He's got himself 2 tonight. Oklahoma State leads K-State 23-7 down in Stillwater. Big turnaround for the Pokes after dropping a tough one to a South Alabama team earlier this season when Oklahoma State fans were asking for Mike Gundy's head on a platter. Adrian's going to boot this one away. His last 2 have hooked out of bounds to the left. Keeps this one about head high. Takes a bounce to Jacobson. He dropped it. He has to go all the way back to the 5-yard line, and he is going to get swallowed at the 12. Some other scores from around the area. We'll continue to do this throughout the night. Bishop Miege leads Aquinas 19-7. Blue Valley is shutting out Blue Valley North 22-zip. Southwest, Northwest, Blue Valley. Blue Valley Southwest leads Blue Valley Northwest 48-35. St. James just by 2 over Blue Valley West. Free State blowing out Shawnee Mission North 49-6. Free State and Gardner is going to be a really good one coming up. Mill Valley blanket Shawnee Mission South 28-0. Lansing and Baser tied 13-13. Olathe South no problem with Shawnee Mission Northwest. Falcons lead that one 37-0. Taj Edwards coming in late. Snap back to Malcolm Paul. And that handoff up the middle goes in the opposite direction. That's a loss of a couple. Oh, Bowen off the field. And who knows if we're going to see him again. Clock to 4 minutes left in this one, 35-6. Gardner has come into Lawrence and steamrolled their way around. Snap back to Paul. Handoff Jacobson right up the middle. He squeezes his way near the 20-yard line. They'll call it the 19. That'll bring up a third down and medium here on a gain of 7. .320 and counting left to go, third quarter. Snap back to Paul. It's a high one. He'll give the handoff once again to Jacobson. 2 spin moves, and he's got himself a big gain out to the 40-yard line. Oh, he'll pick up 22 on third down and 4. That is the longest play from scrimmage tonight, I believe, for Lawrence. 22 on the pickup for Jacobson. 1st and 10 for the 40-yard line. Ball right in the middle of the field. Handoff again. Jacobson patiently trying to make a cut, and he is stacked up and dropped after a gain of a yard. Two games left in the docket for Gardner. They've got Olathe East and Olathe South, both at home. The Olathe South ball game might be a really good one coming up in a couple weeks. For Lawrence, obviously the big one next week against Free State, and then rounding out the regular season at Shawnee Mission West. 2nd down and a long 9. Handoff up the middle goes to Edwards. Edwards bounces backwards off of his own line, and he's able to make something out of nothing. He gains a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 7 here. Well, with Bowen on the sideline, he didn't look like he was the healthiest individual out there on the last drive, but this might be an admission of defeat here for Lawrence, down 35-6 with 95 seconds and counting to go here, 3rd quarter. All that's left to do really is to wind the clock. Snap back to Paul. Paul's going to run it on the keeper. He's brought down near the line to gain. He needed the 50. He got the 49. A gain of 6 on 3rd and 7. And we've got an injured Lawrence offensive player on the field. It'll be a 4th down and 1 with 1 minute and 11 seconds left in the 3rd quarter when we come back to Lawrence High here on the NFHS Network. Malcolm Paul, who was taking snaps at quarterback, is up and able to make his way off the field under his own power. A little tight jog. So now 4th down and 1, and Banks Bowen is called back into action. 4th down and 1 from the 49-yard line. Bowen will take it. Jacobson on the carry. He gets stopped, and it is going to very much depend on the spot here. This is tight. His second and third effort might have gotten it. But they might be bringing the chains out for this one. Who knows? A 1st down. Wow. That's getting measured at any other level of football, just to be clear. But a 1st down and 10 for Lawrence as they needed a yard. They got 3 feet and an inch. Bowen in the shotgun. This will be play number 8 of the drive. Bowen looking to throw, looking left. He's going to uncork a bomb down the near side, and it's incomplete. Wingert goes down. They're going to call the coverage provided by Linden as incidental contact there, I guess. Check that. It was Cameron Porter. Cameron Porter on the coverage, no flag. The home side certainly wanted one. 29 seconds to go in the third quarter, 35-6. Gardner leads it. Second and 10 from midfield for Bowen. Bowen takes it, hands it off to Edwards right up the middle, and he is stonewalled after a gain of maybe a yard. That should take us to the quarter break. Yeah, they didn't give Edwards anything. No gain on that play. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 to start the 4th quarter right at midfield for Lawrence side. Trailing Gardner 35-6, the Trailblazers solidifying their spot as the top-ranked team in 6A and the team to beat. With a quarter left here in Lawrence, we'll take a break and come back with the last 12 minutes. This is high school football on a Friday night on the NFHS Network.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure produce meets our standards for feeding your family. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Fourth quarter upon us, 12 minutes to play in this one. Gardner all over Lawrence 35-6. The Trailblazers 5-0, top-ranked team in 6A, coming off a heartbreaking defeat last year in the state championship game when they dropped a double overtime classic to Manhattan 21-20 down in Emporia. But they are putting their stamp on this season with 2 games left in the regular season, and they're taking it to the 4-1 Lawrence team on the road. It's a 3rd down and 10 here for Bowen, and that is going to be a fall start and a half. So back to the 45 we go. From a 3rd and 10 to a 3rd down and 15 now for the Lawrence Lions. Gardner ends the year with a couple of Olathe schools, but they've got them both at home. They've got Olathe East next week, Olathe South to round out the regular season. Of course, Lawrence next week. If you're a Lawrence fan, you know exactly who you play next week. You've got Free State just across town. 3rd down and 15. Free State was having no issues tonight in their game. Bowen fires one over the middle. That was high and incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down and 15. Well, 4th down and 15 from the Lawrence 45. We'll see the Lions elect to do here. They took out Bowen. Malcolm Paul was taking snaps at quarterback until he was hurt. Like they're going to go ahead and go for this. If you take a shot down the field and it gets picked off for some reason, it's just a long punt. Timeout taken by Gardner. Their first one burned of the half with 11:55 to go in the ball game. Trailblazers are going to talk it over. So while they do that, let's go back to the scoreboard to see what's going on around the metro area and around the Sunflower League. Valley Southwest was in a high-scoring affair earlier. Yeah, they still are. Blue Valley Southwest leads Blue Valley Northwest 48-35. That one's still going. They're probably well behind us. That game may be just out of halftime. Bishop Miege leads Aquinas 19-7. Blue Valley shutting out Blue Valley North 22-0. St. James has a 2-point lead over Blue Valley West 28-26. Free State beating Shawnee Mission North like a drum 49-6. Olathe East shutting out Olathe West 28-0. Mill Valley doing the same to Shawnee Mission South. Jags lead that one 28-0. Shawnee Mission East, they're up on Olathe Northwest 23-6. Bowen back to throw on 4th and 15. Sets his feet, fires one over the middle, and that is to nobody in particular, and there are going to be a penalty here. A flag here on the near side, I think, is going to get called on Eli Porter. Porter had the pick earlier that stopped a big drive for Lawrence early on in the ball game. He saved a touchdown, but he is going to get flagged, I believe, for more than likely this is going to be defensive holding, not full-blown DPI. Defensive holding for the uninitiated is a 10-yard penalty, not a 15-yard. 11:48 to go in the ball game. 35-6 our score. So from 4th and 15 to 4th down and 5. So 11:48 to go here in the ball game. 35-6. Gardner leads the way. Play clock down to 5, and Lawrence is going to burn another timeout. That's the second charge timeout to the Lawrence Lions of this half. They have certainly had their problems getting the plays down to the quarterback and getting on the field on time. All right, some other scores outside the Sunflower League. Let's get adventurous here. Lansing leads Baser 19-13. DeSoto blowing out Piper 48-14. Let's see, Baldwin shutting out Osawatomie 55-0. That one's actually gone final. Ottawa doing the same thing to Bonner Springs. The Cyclones beat the Braves 58-0. Eudora dropped 73 on Schlegel. Lewisburg and Tonganoxie in a tight one. Wildcats lead that one 30-29. That one's just down the road in Tonganoxie as Drew Harding and the Lewisburg Wildcats caught a tight one with the Chieftains. Spring Hill, they're beating Paola by 21, 49-28. Derby's on top of Mays, 28-21. Out in western Kansas, the Salt Hawks from Hutchinson, they're beating Hayesville 35-7. And we're back now to a 4th and 5. 4 receivers set for Bowen. He'll take a knee-high snap, looking to throw, steps up, fires it over the middle. That catch made it the 30-yard line and reaching to the 25 and a first down. Jackson Becker able to make the play. Do we have another flag? Boy, that'd be par for the course tonight if we had another flag. Why not? This one might be coming back. The ball. Let's see here. Personal foul. A roughing call goes on Gardner. Wow. So add that one to the tally. We've had our fair share of flags tonight. It has been a long slog. But now inside the red zone. Credit, though, goes to the quarterback, Banks Bowen, hooking up with Jackson Becker. They had the first down. They just get some free yardage on top of it. Down now to the 13. Bowen in the shotgun. Takes it, hands it to Edwards. Edwards gets ankle tackled immediately. That was Caleb Dewey, a 5'11 junior corner who slipped inside to make the play. He drops Edwards down for a loss of a couple. This fourth quarter, we have been in the fourth quarter for a solid 10 minutes, and a minute of game time has gone by. Two receivers to the far, one to the near for Bowen. Bowen back to throw, looking right the whole way. He's going to float one for the back corner of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Becker was the intended target. Eli Porter provided good coverage. .10:43 to go in the ball game. 35-6. Gardner leads it. Third down and 11 for Lawrence. Obviously, you've got 2 downs to pick this up. You can still get a first down without scoring. You need to get inside the 3-yard line. It was quite the turn. Lawrence is going to have to take another timeout here, more than likely. Clock down to 2, down to 1, down to 0. They got the snap off, but barely. Bowen looking to throw, rolling to his right, and he will throw it away. 10:37 to go in the ball game, and it is 4th down and 11 for Lawrence. Boy, really had to rush that one to try to get up to the line of scrimmage as fast as they can, but they're having issues getting the play in for sure. So 4th down and 11 from the 14-yard line. Again, they need 3 for a first down, but at this point you might as well just score. Play clock to 15. Play clock to 10. Play clock to 6. Play clock to 2. And the play clock down to 0. 10:37 left to go in the ball game. I think they just called the delay game. I'm not sure they had to. Not only they burned the timeout. Well, line of scrimmage goes back to the 19-yard line. 10:37 still to go here in the ball game. Bowen back to throw on 4th down and long. Pressure coming, and he just gets rid of it, and then he gets buried by Mark Debiak. Debiak buries Bowen. And there is a flag on the field. I mean, 10:30 to go in the ball game. This is going to be the longest fourth quarter on record. Personal foul, or a grounding, I think, was called on Banks Bowen. Not that it mattered, which begs the question why it was called. But a turnover on downs, and Gardner will have it. Boy, Gardner picks up 2 or 3 first downs, and they might be able to milk this thing all the way down. So the line of scrimmage will be the 31. Looks like the sticks over on the far side are a little slower to catch up. They've got it. Sweep. Comes to the near side to Padilla. Padilla is going to get brought down for a loss on the play. A little too slow developing there for Gardner, Josh Galbraith on the stop. That's a loss of a couple, one of the few negative plays that the Trailblazers have had tonight. 10-10 to go in the ballgame, 35-6. Gardner leads the way. Trailblazers certainly in no hurry. Again, they've got 2 at home to end the season after this road trip. They've got Olathe East next week, Olathe South to round out the regular season. That'll be a real battle in the last week of the season as the top-ranked team in 6A gets to play Olathe South, a perennial contender in 6A. As a quick stop after a gain of 1 from Padilla, gives Gardner a long third down upcoming, and Padilla is up a little bit slow. So Padilla will hobble his way over to the sidelines with help. 35-6 the score. Gardner leads it. And they've got a 3rd down and 11 coming. Boy, usually a triple option team, a 3rd down and 11 is about their worst nightmare. That is not the case with these guys. Powell, very good through the air. Things in Stillwater are tightening up just a little bit. K-State's got it, trailing 26-15 to the Pokes down in Stillwater. Play clock down to 10 as Powell will finally get under center on a 3rd down and long. Handoff up the middle. Big hold to the 40 to the 45-yard line. And rumbling for a first down is Nehemiah Snipe. He's got it down to the 49. And a fresh set of downs and a couple more of those, and we'll call it a night. Snipe's got 24, now call it 25 carries on the season. Receiver to the far side is Hawkinson. And Powell will come under center, and he's got all the time in the world. Comes set, gives the handoff. Once again, it's Snipe trying to bounce off of tackles. He'll eventually succumb to the pressure, and he is dropped at the 48-yard line. He'll gain 3. This will take us under 8 minutes to go in this one, as really, like I've mentioned a couple times, all that's left here is to wind the clock. Certainly been a tough night for the home team. It started off promising. They got a quick 3-and-out to open the ball game and drove the ball down the field. Had a 3rd and goal to go from the 6 before Eli Porter picked off a pass from Banks Bowen. Handoff right up the middle to Snipe, and he spins his way down near the 40-yard line. Depending on where they mark his knee down, he's going to be a yard short, so a 3rd down and 1 coming. Ball at the 42. Gardner needs the 41 for a fresh set of downs with 7:15 to go in the ball game. Interesting that the starters mostly still out there for Gardner, including their most important guy is Braven Powell. Powell is still out there. They've got Snipe out there, but Ellis is still out there. Shoemaker, one of the starting wideouts, is here to the near side. Sweep goes to Snipe, far side, trying to string this thing out and get to the corner. He has got the first down. And a late flag comes in on the far side, as has been the case on what seems like half of the plays tonight. 6:43 to go in the game, 35-6. Gardner's going to move to 6-0. Lawrence will drop to 4-2. This is going to go on Gardner. So it's a personal foul on a dead ball, foul on Gardner. So 6:43 to go in the game, 35-6 the score. It'll be first down for Gardner from midfield. And the clock will begin to run. Gardner's got all sorts of time. Powell comes under center, line comes set. One comes in motion. Sweep comes out to Padilla. Padilla turns the corner at the 35-yard line and gets upended at the 28. So Padilla was able to shake off whatever ailment he had, turned it onto the 28-yard line. So Padilla gains 22 and a first down as the clock rolls now to 6 minutes left to go in this one. The rest of this is really just a formality. If you're Gardner, you need to get out of here healthy. You have got far bigger aspirations this season. 2 left in the regular season. Get into the regional round. But they've got their sights set firmly on a state championship this year. Powell handoff up the middle to Padilla again. He is hit high and low, and that run will stop at the 26-yard line, gain of a couple. It was Cam Clark who made the stop. Defensive tackle for Lawrence. It'll be second down and 8 as the clock rolls towards 5 minutes to go. Oklahoma State Pokes have the ball at the K-State 24. Oklahoma State leads that one 26-15. 13 minutes to go there from Boone Pickens Stadium down in central Oklahoma. Powell under center. Ellis goes in motion. The sweep goes to Padilla. Padilla is going to turn up the field inside the 25-yard line. A flag comes in. Couple Gardner guys come up a little bit gimpy. Ellis among them. Grant Ellis, couple touchdown runs. To his credit tonight, he's got the last two scores actually of the ball game for Gardner. 12-yard touchdown and a 33-yard touchdown. 4:42 to go in the ball game. The clock has stopped due to yet another penalty. Well, that's a hold coming in on Gardner. Back to the 36. The Trailblazers will have it. Again, all of this strictly a formality here. Clock rolling, 4.5 to go here in Lawrence. Play clock down inside 10 seconds. Powell will sweep it near side. That's taken by the fullback. First carry of the night comes to Porter Swaim. Swaim is 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore. On a scrimmage down to the 26-yard line. A solid pickup for Swaim on his first action of the night. Out of the ball game will go Griffin Martin. Still out there is Hawkinson, though, one of the starters. And another jump by Lawrence. Boy, any third or fourth and long, Gardner's gotten those 5-yard penalties to go their way. So now to a 3rd and 3 with 4:18 to go in the game. To the 21 it goes. Receiver to either side for Powell. He has got all the time in the world here. Play clock at 20. Clock to 3:50 left in this one. Handoff goes to Padilla up the middle. And he gets dropped by Andrew Nelson, a 5'10 junior defensive tackle. That'll bring up 4th down and short here. Don't need a snap until close to the 3-minute mark. Mentioned this earlier, but it'll be a game of what-ifs for Lawrence. Go back to that opening drive of the ball game. They stop Gardner, force a 3-and-out. Get the ball down to 3rd and goal to go from the 6-yard line. An interception, a good one from Eli Porter for the Trailblazers. What happens if that turns into points? Certainly a different ball game. Powell, handoff, Padilla up the middle, and he will trudge forward for a 1st down to the 15-yard line, and that should really do it here. Clock to 2:50 and counting. Gardner's going to have to snap it a couple more times, but this one all but in the books. So ball at the 15-yard line. Gardner's going to move to 6-0, firmly atop the 6A standings. Depending on how this season ends up, as Powell spins and hands to Padilla. Padilla covered up at the 10-yard line. Depending on how the season goes, they may end up tying Free State for the top of the Sunflower League. Of course, Free State and Lawrence will tangle next week. Gardner's got Olathe East at home. But certainly, Trailblazers are the team to beat in 6A. We went through these before the game, but the 6A rankings as follows, and they're not going to change tonight. Gardner, number 1. Washburn Rural comes in at 2. Manhattan, defending champs, they're 3rd. Olathe North is 4th, and Derby rounds out the top 5 in 6A. Free State, the only other Sunflower League team in those rankings. They're at number 8. Like I said, I'm not sure that's going to change much tonight. Powell hands to Padilla. Padilla gets hit early. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and medium here with 1:25 to go. A couple more snaps, and we will be out of here. Gardner, a dominant win once again. They're putting up 42 a game, 35 tonight. Braven Powell, 3 rushing touchdowns. Grant Ellis has 2. And they, after that opening 3-and-out, scored on 5 consecutive possessions. This is a Gardner team who, I mentioned this earlier, and if you're Gardner fans, you are well aware of what happened last year. But they were 9-4 last year and really turned it on in the playoffs. This team, at this point of the season, is much better than they were a year ago. Out to Padilla on the sweep. Padilla goes down to a slide, gets hit a couple times as he was going to ground. No flag on the play, and that is going to wind it. Now the Trailblazers made the road trip, and they played spoiler tonight on senior night here in Lawrence as the clock will elapse the final 20 seconds, and that will do it. Gardner wins it 35-6 on the back of 5 rushing touchdowns, 3 from the quarterback, 2 from Grant Ellis, and Braven Powell and company moved to 6-0 on the season. Top-ranked team in 6A, in control of their own destiny with 2 home games to round out the regular season. Blazers will welcome in Olathe East next week, and then Olathe South to round out the regular season. Lawrence will drop to 4-2 on the year. They've got the crosstown rivalry with Free State next week. That's a big one coming up. Free State with a blowout win tonight. And they're also 6-0. So a big one coming up next week for Lawrence and for Gardner. One final time, that'll do it for us here on the NFHS Network, 35-6. Gardner takes care of business. The Trailblazers once again dominant, as they have been all season long. I hope you'll join us throughout the rest of the regular season for more games here on the NFHS Network. A big thanks to our producer and cameraman tonight, Max McElroy, for his efforts here in Lawrence. I'm Stephen McTeer. Thanks for joining us on a beautiful Friday night for football on the NFHS Network.